Hey guys, what's going on? Justin here. Welcome to episode number 2 of the Grow Your Expert Business Live weekly show. So the setting's a bit different today. You'll see that today I'm not in Cyprus. I'm actually in the UK visiting my parents. So I've been here, been to London, had some good times with catching up with some friends and business partners. I'm here for the next few days, having some family time, catching up on some work, and then I'll be flying back to Cyprus a little later on in the week. So today, what are we talking about? For the next 20-25 minutes or so, I'm going to take you through something very important. Okay, I want to talk about something very critical, which is my list of upcoming trends and changes and predictions for the expert industry in 2018. Okay, so this is really critical. I do this live stream, or I do this kind of video or a live stream or a post once every year. And this is my third year running, I think, doing this now. So every year so far, the predictions and trends have pretty much come to fruition. So I have no reason to think that this year won't be the same. So let's very quickly do a recap of 2017, first of all. Let's take just a minute and recap 2017 and what were some of the biggest changes or impact to the way you run your business, because that will help us set the tone for what we need to be looking at going into 2018. So 2017, what happened there? Okay, so a big thing for me, 2017, I think, was a year of a lot of maturity for the expert industry, because remember, the expert industry is still very young and immature. Compared to other businesses and other industries, the expert industry, it takes a lot to get off the ground. And that's because of the solopreneur technical worker mentality that is pretty much most coaches are brought up with. You see, in other industries, like if you ever want to, open a t-shirt shop or a clothing shop manufacturing or a restaurant or something like that, a lot of the time in other industries, it's just pure entrepreneur types who go and start those companies. They're not necessarily the technical worker in the company and never were from the beginning. And so the expert industry is a little bit different because we are usually, we start off this seed for a business because we've learned something and it's inside our brains. And so we start off this business run by ego, and it takes a lot of time and conditioning sometimes for us to get our methodology and our systems and how we do things out of our heads and into a system that other people can follow, so we can actually build a business around it. So the solopreneur expert industry generally takes a bit longer to come around with these things. But I think 2017 was a year of a bit more maturity because, thanks to people like Tony Robbins, who have pioneered this industry for decades and have shown people how you can really have scalable models that work without you. Even if you got the business so far, and even if people love coming to see you, and even if you think it's your brand name, a lot of companies in the last couple of years have really shown how you can leverage, even a brand name can be leveraged into a real company. And that's evidenced by Tony Robbins, for example, this year, now taking only 2 days of his 4-day signature event, UPW. And this year, Tony Robbins only actually did 2 of the days out of 4. The other 2 days, he had his one of his top coaches, Joseph, step in and run it for him. So this just goes to show, an event or a name as big as Tony Robbins in the coaching industry, even he can have half of his signature event outsourced to somebody else. And I think this is going to start trickling into the mainstream coaches' mindset a little more, and they'll be able to see the potential possibilities. So we matured in that sense a little bit. There's still a long way to go. I think the mindset industry, if we look at fitness, mindset, and business marketing consulting as the 3 big areas, I think the mindset self-help industry had a massive push in 2017. Again, thanks to Tony Robbins in part with his Netflix documentary, bringing that kind of behavioral change possibility to the masses. But not just Tony Robbins, there were many other names that did a lot of good things. And I think that really helped the self-help industry push forward a lot more, and especially with people like Oprah, still really, doing that. Even people like Jim Carrey, really, and his agenda this year and what he's been kind of getting into, that's really helping that whole human consciousness arise and see that self-help is a professional industry now. Fitness and weight loss, fitness and weight loss is a very mature industry compared to other expert industries. As a sub-niche, the fitness and weight loss industry has been around for decades and decades. And I think this year we saw a lot of people, making money online. For the first, really started to make good money online. That became a lot more widespread. Not that 2017 was the first year people made money online. That came out wrong. What I'm saying is, I saw a lot more coaches really start to crack the code in the last couple of years, and really scale their online fitness businesses. And that was in part along to some of the possibilities that Facebook advertising has given us, which we're going to definitely touch on today, because that's changing too. And we'll just pivot right there, because I think the Facebook is the key word here. Facebook is the key word that links the past of last year and the year before it, and it's the pivot point going into 2018 that I really want to touch on. And what that means is, in the last couple of years especially, Facebook's been on a roll for years. 4 or 5 years ago, I started using Facebook ads and managed to crack the code and get floods of leads. At one point, we were generating over 1,500 leads a month for one of my fitness businesses. And, we jumped on the gold mine. We rode the wave. And it was very easy to do that in previous years because Facebook ads were still kind of new. They were still giving, very good options, not as much regulation, very cheap prices, to appease shareholders, which they've done now. And so a lot of coaches jumped on that bandwagon and really rode the wave. Fitness pros were doing 6-week challenges. Mindset coaches would just get their content out more and do kind of group programs. And business marketing consultants really, understood landing pages, funnels, retargeting. Started using a lot more behavioral dynamic response things like ActiveCampaign, and really cashed in the last 2 to 3 years. But now, that one thing that really helped a lot of people get to that point, which was the options Facebook gave us, are now changing. And a lot of the same people are now seeing the changes to Facebook as a threat going forward. And I'm here to tell you, it is definitely not a threat. If you're somebody who shudders every time Facebook make an announcement about the news feed or how brands and businesses and groups are going to interact, if you are worried about those things, it just means you're thinking tactically. You're thinking short term. You're thinking, I don't want anything to change because I have something working right now. And you're making it out like it's almost a fluke. But what we know and what my clients know and what the guys, Mike Yander and the guys that do my Facebook ads know is that these changes are always in everyone's best interests. It needs to be a win-win-win. A win for the Facebook corporation, a win for the advertisers, and also a win for the end user. And this is just a natural market cleansing. So this is actually the first thing on my list of news trends and predictions, is that Facebook advertising, the first trend, Facebook advertising, is going to become more powerful and more profitable than ever. And this is the really big if, okay? If you were watching this live stream like 3 years ago, Happy New Year, by the way, Colin, thanks for your message there. If you were watching this live stream like 3 years ago, I would have just said, Facebook ads are gonna be great. Do them, right? And you probably, my grandmother would have made money on Facebook ads the last 3 years because it was so easy. This year, going forward in 2018, Facebook ads can become your most powerful and profitable way of growing your coaching business if you abide by these conditions. Oh, hey guys, not sure what happened there. The signal didn't cut off. I think my Facebook Pages app just closed down on me right? I think Facebook's listening to me, right? Don't worry, Facebook, I'm gonna say good things about you, right? So let's try that again. If my feed cuts out again, guys, we'll wrap it up, but let's try it one more time. So, so to catch on, this year, the first major trend is gonna be Facebook is gonna be very powerful for you if you understand that Facebook really want to build, the new wave of television, right? They want to keep people on Facebook. Just remember that one principle. Facebook will be powerful and profitable if you do a lot of the work, the marketing work and relationship building on Facebook, okay? Don't use Facebook, okay? Be on Facebook. And some of the other trends and predictions are gonna tie into that a bit more and give more clarity on that. But ultimately, remember that Facebook now is it really wants you to keep people engaged on Facebook. That's what Mark Zuckerberg's recent post was about, saying that they found live video is one of the most engaging things out there today. So that's why, of course, we need these live streams like this. That's why I'm not just, it's not theory, guys. I'm actually taking my own advice and doing live streams like this, because this allows Facebook to get more user engagement, gets more people on their platform, meets their goals as a business. But also, they then put some really powerful tools in place to help you monopolize that, okay? So that leads us to the second big prediction, okay? The first one is that Facebook can become the most powerful and profitable platform if you keep people on Facebook, all right? The second trend or prediction I'm going to say for this year is that I believe, and this might get a lot of controversy, that custom audiences are the new email addresses, all right? The custom audience is the new email list, okay? What that means is this, right? For a long time, we have known the power and the importance of growing an email list, right? We all talk, build your list, grow your email list, right? Capture the email, we all know that. But why is that? What made the email so prominent to begin with? Well, there's two principles, right? There's two principles that make email collection very important. The first is that when somebody opts in an email address in return for a lead magnet or some information, this is what's known as a behavioral indicator in marketing, okay? Behavioral indicator. It's an indicator of someone's interest that they have actually done something. Okay, it's not a verbal indicator like saying, oh, if you did make that free ebook, I sure would download it. We don't want those, right? That's just empty words. A behavioral indicator is they take an action to get something. So that's the first reason an email list has been very popular. People indicate a behavior by opting in. The second thing is that email is captured into a list that can be remarketed to. So remarketing or retargeting. When someone's on your email list, you can then send follow-up messages, follow-up emails to that person based on the interest they show or don't show. Okay, so that's the two reasons why an email list is popular. Behavioral indicator that shows they're interested, and secondly, it allows follow-up messaging. But here's the thing, guys. Now, Facebook's custom audience allows you to do both of the same things. And it allows you to do it at an easier rate, a faster rate, and a cheaper rate than traditionally building an email list, okay? So when you do something like you make a video like this, for example, on your Facebook page, then basically everyone who's watching this is being tracked by my Facebook pixel. It is tracking you, okay? It's tracking your behavior. It's tracking how long you spend on this live stream. It's going to be tracking how much you engage. It's going to track what other videos of mine that you watch. It sounds pretty creepy, right? But the system is doing this. And it's building an audience. And it doesn't show me exactly, who's on the audience, like names or anything like that. But Facebook does just say, for example, hey, 20,000 people watched this video. Would you like to send them another message? And that's why retargeting, the Facebook retargeting helps you build what we call custom audiences, where you can have several little audiences all segmented up based on different actions they've taken or not taken. And the second thing is then Facebook as well allows you to remarket to that list or any of those lists with individual follow-up messages. And this is what we call behavioral dynamic response marketing, something I learned from Frank Kern back in the day. And so it's sending the right message to the right prospect at the right time because they have shown us what they're interested in or not. So building these custom audiences on Facebook are now far, far more powerful. The costs are rising to send people from an advert back to your landing page. The prices are going up because, again, Facebook wants to keep people on the Facebook page, doesn't want to send traffic elsewhere because more people have come into the market, more people have created adverts, and there's a lot more spam and rubbish. And as the market gets saturated with advertisers, the overall quality comes down. So Facebook these days, they don't know where they're sending their traffic to. If you click an advert and it goes somewhere, Facebook don't know that that person is going to give you a good experience or if they're really a good kind of expert or not. Again, it's very hard to discriminate against people, good or bad. However, what Facebook have done is, if it's letting the people decide, it's letting you decide. And Facebook is saying if these people engage on your video and watch it for an amount of time, then you probably have something worth listening to, right? It's still not concrete, it's not a causation, but it's a correlation. You probably are legit. You probably have something of value to give these people. So Facebook don't mind you then helping you remarket to those people with your adverts because you've built some familiarity and trust with them already. Now, here's the big question everybody asks me. Does this then mean that email marketing is dead? Should I still build an email list? And the answer is still yes. Because at the end of the day, Facebook, as great as it is, or YouTube, or Google, or LinkedIn, any platform, they are platforms. And it's not your asset at the end of the day. You can build massive custom audiences at a very low rate on Facebook. I've built audiences of over 100,000 targeted people have seen one of my videos. And I think I built that audience of 100,000 people for under $3,000, right? So think about that, paying $3,000 to get over 100,000 people that we know have engaged on a video of mine for a certain time frame. That is actually probably more powerful than someone just giving an email address. However, those custom audiences could be taken away at any time. Your account might get shut down, anything could happen. But with an email list, that's always your asset. So we do still believe in building an email list, but one thing I'll be moving to more this year is I will be putting a bit more trust in Facebook. I will be investing a bit more in keeping people on Facebook. We're going to be promoting this live stream, for example, and I'm going to be building more of an audience on Facebook. I will still then move people towards giving me the email address. However, I'm going to be building a smaller email address of more qualified people. And what that means is, instead of just giving away free report after free report, or opt in for this, opt in for that, and giving away these small little things of not much value, I'm basically moving the line forward. I'm moving the free line forward. So when I do take people's email addresses, it's generally going to be when they're signing up to go towards one of my conversion mechanisms, which means they could be opting in to go to a video sales page, or opting in to book a phone call with one of my team, or something of that nature. So it's a bit more action orientated. They're opting in to indicate that they want to take good action on potentially being a customer. I'm not just collecting email addresses to give a free report away or anything like that. And again, in the past that would work because getting those emails was so cheap on Facebook because there was less competition, less saturation, and so on. But now the cost of getting an email subscriber is rising quite a lot. I'm choosing basically to put a bit more of the budget into the audience building on Facebook, getting video views, video engagement, things like this, because it's all being tracked into an audience anyway, and then retargeting the most engaged people, into opting in their email to take the next step of working with me. Okay, so that's the second big trend. Custom audiences, I believe, are going to become the new email list, where we do most of our building and most of our remarketing will happen more on the Facebook platform or on other platforms too, but Facebook for now. That'll happen probably a lot more than just the old send a daily email and hope for the best kind of tactic, right? To this day now, I collect an email list, but what I do with that list is I upload that email list back into Facebook, and Facebook lets me target adverts to the people on my email list on their Facebook feed. So I'm even using the email list now to talk to those people back on Facebook again. And yes, I pay more for that. I pay to get the email address, and then I pay more advertising money to make sure they see more of my content. But that's how you build trust going forward. Okay, that leads me to the third trend. Okay, the third prediction for this year. Selling, or funnels as you know them, are going to become largely worthless this year. Okay, now this might take a lot of time to explain, so I'll give you guys the quick gist. And for those of you guys who are in my Expert Business Blueprint mentoring program, you guys know about this anyway. I'm giving you lots of in-depth videos, content, tutorials, walkthroughs on this concept. You know that. But for those guys who aren't in the program, I'll give you a very quick overview. Okay, funnels are going to change. Right now, because of the nature, because advertising on Facebook has been so cheap and easy the last few years, what everyone's done is they just make an advert that says, hey, go to my sales page, read my copy, and buy the stuff. Because clicks were so cheap, you could just buy tons of clicks on Facebook, send tons of people to your page, have 1 or 2% convert into customers, but because the traffic was so cheap, you would still probably make a return, right? But those days now, as the cost of Facebook ads go up, and it costs 10 times more to get the same click now, your advertising budget is now very limited compared to what it used to be. And at the same time, your audience have already also seen a similar message a dozen times. All the copycats, the imitators, the competitors have all saturated the market and saying the same thing. So the prospects are even less likely to click or buy anyway. These two things together has ramped up the cost of leads and sales using Facebook ads. So again, it's the people that don't understand marketing or don't understand principle will think, oh, Facebook ads don't work anymore. And no, it just means it's becoming a more mature platform. And really it means is that you're not working anymore. You're being lazy, you're relying on quick fix tactics, and you're not stepping your game up. And now you're going to get penalized for that, as you should. Okay, this is a natural cleansing mechanism Facebook and any platform goes through. They're just qualifying the advertisers more. And what's happening is the funnel way has traditionally been like the exact same as approaching a stranger in a bar and saying, hey, will you marry me? Because that's what it is. That's what you're doing. It's like going to a cold audience and saying, hey, get my ebook, or look at my sales page, or jump on my webinar, watch me for 90 minutes, and then buy something. Okay? And that is just not going to work. The rates have been plummeting overall, and it's going to get harder and harder to do it, right? Because it's just like walking up to a cold prospect and saying, will you marry me? Now you're going to have to learn to be a true gentleman. Even the ladies watching, you're going to have to learn to be a gentleman too. You're going to have to learn to court, to date, to nurture your audience before you ask for the big commitment. Okay? You're going to need to spend more time chatting to that audience on Facebook, using messenger bots or just engaging in comments. You're going to need to, give them more valuable content and videos first for free, live streams like this, without expecting anything in return. You're going to have to prove yourself more. You're going to have to get to know them so they know you, like you, and trust you, and then slowly move them towards your big ask later on. That's how it's going to have to be now. We've got away with it so far, but now the platform is maturing. You're not going to get away with that. And the big problem is the tactical thinkers out there they're asking the wrong questions. Their advertising is now being way more expensive. Their sales are plummeting, but they're asking the wrong questions because they come into Facebook groups and they ask, how do I make my webinar better? Or how do I improve my funnel? And the problem with that line of thinking is you're asking, how do I make the marriage proposal better? But the problem isn't the marriage proposal. The problem is when and where you're asking for it, okay? So if you walk up to 100 strangers in the street and say, marry me, of course 99.9% are gonna say no. Doesn't mean they don't like you. Doesn't mean you have to take offense to it. Doesn't mean they're a bad lead. It just means you asked at the wrong time. You didn't build in a value first. It was incontextual. So rather than asking, what's a better line, or how should I propose, or which knee should I get onto, or how do I make the ring look better? It's not the ring, it's not the knee, it's not the proposal. What you should be asking is, how do I give more value and build more trust first, so that when I do make the proposal in a basic way, they're gonna say yes. And any of you guys or women who are married, you know this, right? You know that if you were married to somebody, they didn't marry you because of the proposal. They didn't marry you because you asked the right way or something like that. They would have said yes because of all the time you spent before that point is what led to an obvious yes without being over the top or doing anything flamboyant. And that's why, for the last year or so, I haven't even been running any webinars. I've only run pretty much sales videos, which are very upfront sales videos. And I've been telling my audience that. I say, hey, this is a 20-minute video that walks you through the program, what's included, and how much it is, right? And I can do that because I'm sending that page, that video, only to a select segment of my audience that I know are ready for it. Okay, but I wouldn't advertise it out cold to random strangers, which is what many marketers are still trying to do. And it's backfiring big time. What one person said to me was strange. They said, one person commented that, it's still working for them. They're spending tons of money on traffic, and they are getting conversions, and it's working for them. But here's the thing, guys. A long time ago, hanging people worked for at the time, right? But it doesn't mean it was a good idea. So this isn't about thinking short term of like, well, it's working, so let me take advantage and get all the leads I can. This is about long term. Do you want to build a good reputation with your audience? Do you want to build a scalable sized audience that you have systems working to send them the right content at the right time and make sales a lot more effortlessly and easier and more fluidly, okay, when the people are ready? This is the difference between getting to 6 figures and getting to 7 figures. Is 0 to 6 figures, you just need to make cash flow right now and get that sale. After that point, it's not as simple as that, okay? You need to have an audience. That's not a list, it's an audience, different thing altogether. So that's the third kind of prediction and trend, is that we need to start dating our market and building an audience, not a list, okay? An audience, an engaged audience, not a list of names, okay? You have to start giving a crap about people, because that's the difference. That's the difference maker. And that's why I love these changes to Facebook, because they're pushing advertisers like us to really have to step up, to be more vulnerable, to care more, to give more, to demonstrate more, and to be more patient. And to say that, I'm building an audience now. It's not about putting money into Facebook today and then turning that into ROI on Thursday. That's the old kind of short-term gambling mentality. No, we take an investment mentality and think, I'm going to invest every single month into growing my audience, and then invest more money into showing them more and more good content. And then you can work with an actual overall smaller audience that keep getting more and more value from you. And then you can easily pull those people towards your conversion mechanisms. All right. So it's the long, boring, unsexy, but proven way of doing things. That's the 3 major trends I want to go into today. I'm not going to go into much more. I'm going to expand on this inside my my mentoring group right now, so my Expert Authority Blueprint Mastermind. These guys get additional insights and all other things from me as well. But that's just 3 things to think about today and take away. And that is that, you know, Facebook will become a very powerful platform to advertise on this year more than ever if you keep people on Facebook. That leads to then building custom audiences. And I believe the second principle is that the custom audience is now going to become more prominent than the email list. Doesn't mean you stop an email list building, you do. However, it's going to be much cheaper and easier for those of you, especially on a budget, to grow an audience on Facebook, because you can spend a couple of dollars for a full video view, whereas you might spend up to $5 to $8 to get an email address. Okay, and thirdly is, you know, the way we do funnels is going to change, because you now need to move towards a dating approach rather than just straight up asking strangers to marry you. All right, guys, so let me know your thoughts and comments below on this, and thanks for tuning in. I'm going to jump off now to do a live mastermind session with my private clients, but drop your comments below. I've got a lot more trends and predictions as well, but they were the kind of top 3 on my mind right now to talk about. I'll probably do another live stream at some point in my free group this week, and I might go deeper into these, and I might add some more of my trends and predictions, because there's a lot more than just this. This is scratching the surface. There's a lot more, but just for the time today and to just give you enough to get on with, that's some cool things there. So comment below, what are your thoughts? What are your predictions? What else do you see happening? And if you have any follow-up questions. All right, so thanks again for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you next week.